Welcome back, everybody, to our challenge podcast, Double Agents episode 12. How you all feeling after this episode?
It was better than the one before.
There was at least drama, I guess. That's one thing.
It was an entertaining episode, I thought.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I'm pissed, though.
No. Uh-oh.
I'm more pissed at this season being such a fucking clusterfuck, but I guess we'll get to all of that. I guess we'll start with ups and downs, though. Who wants to go
I
first?
forgot to do that. I'll go last. Because I forgot.
I know my ups. For sure. I'm going to put the power couple, which I consider to be Cam and Leroy, up. Matter of fact, through the roof up. Because that household is taking home some fucking money now. And down, probably Corey.
Yeah, I guess I would put, even though his social game's down, CT was up because, he went from having a not the greatest chance of winning to a pretty big chance of winning now, I think. Make days.
Yeah, CT's up and down for me. Like you said, like his social game is way down, but obviously his chances of winning are up. I put Casey up. I think she's just continuing to be in a great spot in the game, Down, I don't know. Gabby.
My up is going to be both CT and Darrell. Yes, CT's social game went in the toilet, but the two folks arguably that you don't want in the finale, the final, are CT and Darrell, and you just gave them the opportunity to win the money. And down is Kyle, because he's next on the chopping block. With Devin and Josh gone, he's next up to have his gold skull taken. I don't see who doesn't have one. Corey
and Nam.
Yeah, well, not
Mom's gone.
Oh yeah, Nam.
So Corey's definitely not going after the other four. Kyle's the one that he's got to get his gold skull against.
Yeah, I guess I'd probably agree that Kyle is down as well. I guess Big T's probably down as well too. She had a rough go of an episode.
Well, and now with Nam leaving, she doesn't even have a shot, and she knows it.
Fenga, did you say a down?
A down, yeah. It was Corey, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
But for the same reason Days said Kyle, I put him in the same boat. They're going to be the next two guys in an elimination. So, and that's a good matchup. It's a pretty solid, fair matchup. So we'll see.
I don't know. I could see them spinning it to make Corey in a place where he could go down and steal a skull from Kyle. And it all just seems very set up for me, the entire thing.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Conspiracy.
Since Lolo left, and I'm like, this is all it's all set up.
Like conspiracy setup, production, or
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
It just seems very, I don't know. In the beginning of this season, we started with this was the season of the rookies, and we're gonna play this completely different, and we're gonna go after the big threats right away. But then when that kind of started to take over, it was whoop, we're going to do a quick 180 here and put the vets back in charge. And they're going to be all the ones in the final are going to be the vets. And they're going to be like, oh, you can't beat the vets. Look how good they are. But are they just put in a position to be there because it's good TV, or?
Maybe the rookies haven't prepared their bodies to be injured yet.
Not just injured. The rookies are
in Nam's situation and the 4 girls that went home.
They just we talk about this a lot, or I talk about this a lot, but a lot of it's experience. When you run those finals, you just get it's it brings out a different level because you know what to expect. You know what you have to put your body through in the off season. And I just don't think the rookies, I think they know what they're getting into, but they don't really know what they're getting into. So I think rookies are always going to be at a disadvantage competitively, unless you're someone like Jenny or just a turbo, a specimen. Well, obviously you keep, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It just seems like so. I don't know.
I mean, I feel what you're saying. To your point, Meg, I mean, how do you guys feel about this double elimination coming now?
I mean, didn't I say last week one of my predictions was, which I said, 3 guys in an elimination, so it wasn't correct, but it's close enough for me. I mean, you had to do it. The
I mean,
numbers
I get that there's a numbers game, but Nama's also injured, so now the numbers are fucked up on the other side.
Yeah, but this puts them in a spot where it has to be a girls' elimination, which I think is important because that's where the free skull is, right? So, I mean, this next elimination is gonna be a girls' elimination, which they need to do.
The only problem I had with the way this elimination was set up was the sheer amount of power that the double agents had. Like CT just basically, I mean, he
Took it and ran.
He got everything that he needed out of this.
He got
the way they set it up.
He got the goof.
I think it was better than bringing somebody back, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of figured they were going to pull a double. It was coming sooner or later, so it didn't surprise me.
I think we just thought it would be both a guys and a girls elimination instead of 2 guys elimination double.
Yeah, it definitely didn't work out the way that I thought they would have done it, which would be that both the guys and the girls have to go against each other, which is what I was thinking the whole time. But
I mean, I think I would have liked that better, but I get why it was the guys because of the numbers and the math of the whole thing. One of my other issues, however, though, has been Darrell's edit this whole time because I feel like he's finally getting his skull, but he's obviously not winning because he's had 0 edit for the entire season. So why do I care?
You're right.
I don't have an answer.
I mean, his little one-liner quips have been kind of cool. Strangely obsessed with fruits and veggies, but still, they've been kind of funny nonetheless. But yeah, you're right. His edit leans towards he's definitely not winning the final. So
yeah, it would be shocking from this literally having no edit until the end of episode 10. It's kind of a bit much.
But that's what I mean with the production thing, because Darrell's been no part of this show leading up until this point. And Devin is apparently supposed to be really good at puzzles, and you give him a puzzle and all of a sudden he can't do it. And Darrell like, oh, here come the vets to save the day.
I mean, I think folks aren't giving Darrell enough credit. I mean, he has played this game a long time. He's an intelligent man. And you can't get through finals. You can't win 4 finals without being good at puzzles, because there's puzzles in pretty much every final.
Yeah, no, agreed. I don't think that you should want to run a final with him, but I just think it's all too convenient.
I do have a bone to pick with Darrell, not literally because I don't want to fight you, but he ruined who was going to win, he was going to win on his Instagram. He posted a picture of him, the challenge, and in that screenshot, it had the gold skull. I think it was an inadvertent spoiler.
Well, he's just, go ahead.
And we also knew CT was going to win because we've seen CT in previews for the end of the show. So I was kind of bummed that I knew who was going to come out on top.
I mean, it was kind of obvious though, because it was Josh and Devin. I mean, I guess Devin should have had a chance with the puzzle, especially since he did come back and almost beat him. So I don't know what happened with Devin.
I don't think anybody was beating CT in that challenge. He put that puzzle together fast.
Yeah, he did.
Fast.
It was really cute what he said about doing them with his son too, but then my opinion of CT quickly changed.
Oh, would you like to get into that next, or do you want to talk about Josh and Devin leaving at the same time?
I'm bummed that Devin's gone. Like I usually don't care for Devin all that much, but he has grown on me so much this season because he's not solely focused on bananas. After seeing Gabby's interview, I like that those two actually formed a bond. And on top of that, Gabby's grown on me. Like, I like those two together. I'd like to see them teamed up later in later shows. And there was some controversy apparently with this elimination with Josh, something about his harness falling or something. And when I looked back, it looks like it, because when he jumps off the podium thing, he like goes straight down almost over and over and over. So I think the weight of both of those men kind of fudged up the mechanism. But there was no beating CT in that once he got the puzzles on the ground.
Are you sure it's not more of Meg's conspiracy theory that it was all rigged?
They super set it up like CT was gonna win. I mean, I keep forgetting that we haven't seen the episode you're alluring to, Days with CT in the like food eating competition or whatever.
It's the next one.
They're setting this up so hard for him to win that I wouldn't be surprised if he lost, because that's the way like.
Wow, do you feel like they're editing it in a way that CT wins the challenge?
It kind of feels like now like
challenge,
CT Cam is gonna win. That's what I feel.
They super edited it, like just that elimination challenge with Josh. Like it was just everybody being like, "Oh, poor Josh. Oh man," and I was like, "What if it turns around? You never know." But Devin looked like a fucking psycho when TJ was like explaining the rules of how this double elim was going to happen. Devin's face looked like a serial killer. It was very.
Be careful the words you throw around about serial killers now.
Why? Am I going to get killed?
Does he look more like a serial killer than Josh on BB Can? I guess is what.
That's what I was alluding to.
Oh, he did. Yeah, it was very scary.
Yeah, I know, Meg, you've been annoyed by Devin this season, but I think he was needed as an antagonist, because without Devin, I can't even imagine what this season would be.
I mean, I agree, and I understand that's like the character that he plays, and he comes in and plays hard to be that person, and I completely get that, and I don't completely dislike him. I just kind of got very annoyed with the extent of it this season. It was just like, all right, can we let it go and move on? It's just becoming bullying and not becoming like the Devin thing.
He did have it out a little too bad for Big Brother. Like when Days said at least he didn't have bananas to go after, he just traded bananas for Big Brother.
Exactly.
I mean, he did the exact same
He's
thing.
still talking about it on his way like out of the crater. Oh, Big Brother still sucks. Like, come on.
I give him props though, him and Kyle, because both of those guys understand that they are on a reality TV show and they were cast into a role that they needed to play, and they play it brilliantly. And without those two on this season, it would have been complete shit.
It was poetic watching those two walk off together for sure. Like all right, besties.
Sorry to interrupt, but here is a first look at our upcoming new online game based on the challenge.
Why didn't you tell us that?
What are you?
You haven't been up front the entire game.
I kind of am always been put in these situations where I feel like the vote is really up to me, so it's weird.
Let me address this shit.
I didn't attack you, but I don't get how you can say that you have loyalty, but your boy was on the chopping block and you didn't try to send him to exile. That's kind of whack. But Meg did what she was supposed to do.
There's already one person who I'm already sketchy about.
That's a problem, so don't do that because I'm not the right one.
Chris is sneaky and he's not willing to give any information, so he can't be trusted. And then Hannah is a flat out liar.
was just like a completely different game, like because we didn't really play games. Well, we didn't play games other than mind games, but
If we have this alliance, I would prefer it if Fanguy was tangential to that.
All right, I don't know how I Q. I don't forget what I went through in the last game.
I feel like I want to talk to Mike because I don't think he likes me.
Because my boyfriend doesn't like you. I'm petty like that. Live with it.
You're a snake.
Well, who wants to go first on the big CT split?
Meg seems to be very strong.
Still have feelings on it.
I am just so disappointed in him, honestly. I've been a CT fan for like the entire time the challenge has been on. He's like my number one favorite player on this show. And he super ruined it for me. Like, that was such a dick move. Literally the commercial, because I watch it on Philo that has commercials, and it's not, you know, that's like my life still is commercials. But during the commercial break, like right before it came to him choosing a new partner, I was thinking in my head, like, there's no way he's going to switch. Like, he's at the core, he's just a really nice guy. You know, he puts on this front that he's mean, but CT is such a nice guy, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like giving him all these props, like to myself alone in my bedroom, like, oh, he's so great. I love CT. And then it comes on and he fucking did that. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, disappointed. Now that he switched, I think it was a smart move for him to switch, but he could have done it with grace, and he did it like a fucking dick and continued just to make it worse. Like, it never stopped. And then it continued back at the house when he wants to, when they went swimming and he wanted to buy her a drink to like get her back in his like good graces. No, fuck off. We like more than alcohol. Like, an actual conversation would be nice. And then he made the campfire, did not make her s'mores, which he said he was going to do. And then was so rude to her. So rude. I'm just very disappointed. Sorry, that's my rant. You guys can say what you want.
Playing devil's advocate here before we even get to the fire and the swim pool and whatever. How did you feel about Big T jumping up and down and cheering when her partner Joseph got eliminated?
Joseph was a dumbass partner. They did not have the kind of relationship. He doesn't have any history on the show. He hasn't been like, they weren't together. And he was sleeping like the first night in the club or whatever. Like, that to me was different. This is somebody, they made it very clear with each other that they were going to stay together. He guided her through this game, made her feel so confident in these challenges. We haven't seen Big T perform like this. Like, she finally gained a place, and I think she felt welcome with him.
So she can swim. That's all she can do.
Yeah, but there's no devil's advocate for the way that he fucking talked to a woman in front of all of these people and the way that he treated her. You can switch partners and do what you have to do to win $1 million, and you don't have to be a fucking asshole. And he was an asshole. Point blank, period. There's no devil's advocate about it. He was a fucking dick.
I think the worst part...
We've known CT is a big douchebag from the time that he stepped
until
on
fucking Diem died. Until Diem died. And since then, he has been this like turnaround great guy. He's gotten married. He has a kid. He's nice to everybody. He doesn't get in fights anymore. He's dad bod CT. I love this CT. I love where he's come in his life. And I feel like it was 15 steps backwards.
I still love
this really hit me. I was so mad. I had to turn it off for a minute.
I still love this CT. So, I mean, I hate to I just have a different perception of him than you, I guess, because I'm just going to say I knew if he won, there was absolutely zero chance that he was going to stay with Big T, no matter what he had been telling her, no matter what. I was 100% sure that he was going to take either Cam or Casey.
Which was the right move.
Right.
100%.
And I think his chances of winning are now really high. So I think it was a smart move. I think it was.
But what if his chances been any lower if he would have been like, Big T, I'm really sorry, but I have to do this for my family.
No,
You know,
he definitely.
your chances are the same. You did not have to put on the performance.
No, I agree.
So
Just
my-
on a base human level, you could have just done it like that.
Now,
But he was
don't get me wrong.
And she's saying that too. She's saying you could have told me, like, I wouldn't have been mad at you switching. I'm mad that the way that you handled yourself.
Now, I'm not, dismissing all of CT. I think that him celebrating and pulling Cam, that was, again, Big T celebrated when Joseph left. My issue was him attempting to gaslight Big T at the campfire. That I had an issue with. That whole scene was cringeworthy, and I did lose a little respect there. But then again, that's always been CT. Even in his marriage, if you didn't watch his little wedding TV show, like their marriage has been on the rocks forever, because that's just how he is to women. I'm not saying it's good or bad. In my opinion, he's a bad dude, but we've always known that about him.
See,
I don't care. I don't care.
I don't think he's a
That,
bad
it was just so mean. It was so mean. I don't care. Nothing. I agree with what you're saying, but there is no excuse for me. I'm not going to change my mind.
He was excited. He knew his chances of winning the money just went up 1,000-fold. And I'll say devil's advocate, and I also disagree with what he did. There's just a more political way to do it at the very least, just so you don't go back. Even if the only reason you're not acting like that is so you don't go back in the house and have everybody want to shit on you, then just be cool about it, bro. But I think he just lost his cool. He was really excited about it. And I mean, how good did that have to make Cam feel? Like, it made Big T feel really shitty, but he made Cam feel really good. So there's
I don't
that.
know. I still think that you can get carried away and you can be excited and jumping up and down and excited to have her. But you didn't need to be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And like, oh, I have been praying since day one to get away from this person right here. It's just too far. It's too far.
I felt really bad for T. Like, I have sad faces drawn all over my piece of paper from taking notes. That's how.
She's so
I don't have sad
sweet.
faces. I have paragraphs.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, for me, I guess the celebration was not that. I mean, I feel bad for Big T, because I do like Big T a lot. So but I didn't really mind the celebration. I thought it was kind of funny, even though I did feel bad for Big T. But the non-apology and the gaslighting is when it started to annoy me.
I mean, I like that she stood up to him and held her own when they were at the campfire together. But I don't know. I don't like to. It's just enough is enough. I don't like to continue to see women like degraded and talked to in certain ways and it be funny or acceptable, because that's just who they are. I don't fucking care who you are. You don't talk to people like that. Especially someone like Big T. She's so cute.
She's so sweet. She really is. She didn't deserve that. I mean, he was going to switch partners, but there was just so many better ways he can do it. Now, the campfire scene, I'll say this. We don't know how much of that scene was edited out or whatever, or how much longer the conversation was. Because it looked like it started. I'm going to give CT the credit in some way and say it looked like a legitimate effort on his part to apologize. I think he did tell her he was sorry right before it very quickly deteriorated.
Are you saying that the s'mores was edited out?
Yeah, it's possible, right? And I mean, there's a lot that could have been edited out. He could
There's
have,
my graham cracker and marshmallow.
he could have been trying to apologize, and she just wasn't having it because she was really pissed. And so, but I'm just saying,
And rightfully
before we
You
jump
can't
on his
just build
ass,
a fire and give me champagne and expect me to accept your apology. You embarrassed me in front of all of these people. You made me feel like shit about myself. Champagne, it's more than champagne and s'mores. Maybe she wasn't ready for an apology. And I totally understand that. But I mean, I get what you're saying. There's a lot
it
of
seemed like a genuine effort is all I'm saying. Like, it looked like he at least wanted to let her know he did care about her, and that he was sorry for.
But then the conversation.
I don't know if it was as genuine.
Do you think it was the comment about her not being ready for the final? Was that the turning point in the conversation? Because that would have set me off too.
I actually didn't mind that comment because I found it realistic. He was just being harsh, but he's also
Yeah, but
said, "Let
she's
me check my
already
notes, keep
super
talking."
defeated. She's already super defeated. Like when she said she lost her spark, like you could see it on her face. She was just crushed.
The
And then
line,
to add,
the line that pissed me off is when he said, I didn't lie, I just broke a promise. Well, that's why you broke the promise, because you fucking lied. So what the fuck does that mean?
Those two are the same thing, for the record. Like breaking
Exact same thing.
is lying, CT.
He just
Yeah, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I didn't hate the line about you're not ready for a final, because I don't think Big T's ready for a final. And if she was looking for some sort of justification as to why he left her as a partner, it was kind of cruel. But if he had just, it was the context around that statement. Like, I didn't mind that statement. If he wanted to squeeze that into a much more genuine, longer, heartfelt apology, I'd have been fine with it, because it at least gives her closure in her mind. Look, this is why he left you. It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because he doesn't like you or care about you.
but
It's because he's trying
I
to
don't think it was about that though, and I don't think that comment really hurt her either. I think again, it was the delivery. She told him, like, if you want to choose somebody else, choose somebody else. It's the way that he did it. It's the way that he made her feel about herself in the process.
I feel like he took a sledgehammer to her legs, shattered both of them, and then said, "You're not ready to run a marathon yet." Like that.
Hello, my name is Tanya Harding, and you can't skate in the Olympics now.
Sure.
Any last comments on this whole debacle? I mean, that was the entire episode.
If CT comes back, because I just have this feeling that this might be his last season. If he does come back, they are setting up the perfect rivals partnership, right? Like Big T or CT is stuck with Big T going forward if they ever do that again.
I think he's been announced for an upcoming season already, actually. So I don't think he is done. And we'll see if Big T keeps her word. She's like, this is going to linger on, motherfucker.
Oh, she said,
I'm going to see you in the future, and this is going to get real.
For the rest of this game and every game after, she is going to vote him in every single time. So she says.
Yeah, but she has to have the backing to do that.
We'll see.
Can we talk about why all these girls are so obsessed with Josh? They're all so sad and crying.
It's
Why?
mostly not.
Yeah,
those two are really close,
Casey too.
like super close. But Casey and Josh are super close. Like they're stuck at the hip.
He and him, so annoying.
Yes, he's annoying, but I think in general, I mean, he's super loyal to his friends. Like he's one of those that you know, never gonna cross them, would jump in front of them and take a bullet for them. That's just the kind of guy he is.
Well, Jay might disagree, but
I don't believe that part of it. The first part of your statement, I'll go with.
For Casey and Nany, absolutely, he would.
I just think it would just be annoying to have to like constantly be taking care of somebody. Like I do that for my children. I want to do it for a friend, an adult friend.
You're talking about the guy who, on his first episode of Big Brother, took the prize to screw his whole team.
Exactly.
So, I mean, let's just remember, this is the cat who bangs pots and pans and stuff. Now, I mean, I'll defend him a little and say I agree with you. He seems like a very genuine person. Like he is who he is, and I think his heart is in the right place, which is more than I can say for a lot of people that I come into contact with all the time. So the kid has a good heart, but as CT put it, he's just a giant goof. Like he just is. He's annoying, but his heart's in the right place.
I mean,
and he's 100% in love with Nany, like for real.
And she might be in love with him.
That is such a weird. That would be a weird relationship.
So weird. Super weird.
They're setting it up.
He already like had a thing with his like lesbian best friend. which is makes it even weirder then.
Triangle time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Any comments on Nam leaving as the injuries continue to add up this season? And
Yeah,
still cluster.
I posted on the challenge subreddit what I thought this was last week, and they haven't confirmed it, nor has he confirmed it. But I'm pretty sure it was either a pinched nerve, misaligned lumbar, or an actual herniated disc. Both of those are incapacitating. Like, there's no way he would have gotten through the rest of the season. So he really needed to get out of there, because if you don't get that fixed, you're causing yourself potentially permanent damage to your spinal cord. So he needed to go.
Yeah, sucks for him.
Sucked to see him go.
Anyway.
I like Nam.
Say what?
He wasn't going to go to the final anyway. So why further?
He's nice to look at, like Anissa said.
See, he's the kind of guy who doesn't have to say he's a nice guy to
here we go.
Tell. But it's true, right? You just know Nam's a nice guy. Everyone else tells you he's a nice guy. Nam isn't going, I'm a nice guy. Like, Nam is just a genuine human being, and obviously he oozes like a good person. So I hate seeing him go, because I think the challenge in particular needs more good-hearted people.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could have seen more of him without Lolo. Is my biggest criticism. He is kind of hard to understand sometimes, but I wanted to see him ball out in an elimination. See him really compete.
Yeah, and like if it was an individual game, I would have liked to see where he fell.
Anything I missed? Because those were most of my notes was on Big CT.
I think there was
no more paragraphs.
I think there was a little foreshadowing to the next episode. I'm gonna go ahead and say Nani's gonna win an elimination and take Fessy.
Yeah.
Which I don't think.
You're talking about Anissa. Yeah, Anissa foreshadowing.
Yep.
I mean, that would suck so bad. I mean, she gets cut every season right before the final.
I mean, she has a skull. I don't think she's gonna lose her skull. I think Nani's gonna beat Gabby.
I hope not. Like I said, Gabby's really growing on me. I'm kind of starting to like her.
Yeah, but she's with Corey now. We know how that ends.
True.
Either eliminated or with child.
Yeah.
He's right,
I'm just kidding. Not really though.
Am I the only one kind of over the skulls, honestly, this twist with the skulls? Because this season's been so convoluted. People still don't actually care if they get skulls, it seems like, most of the time. So what's the point of skulls?
I feel they're going to take it one step further, and the skulls aren't even going to matter.
Oh, well, that would be lovely.
I think it just ensures that people have to get in. I mean, I do like the skulls, because I think there are certain people who, especially once you politic so deep in a game like the challenge with returnees over and over and over again, you can completely politic your way to not having to see a single elimination round the entirety of the season. And we see that so often with seasons of the past. There are certain people who just get to finals and never even see eliminations. So I do like it. I mean, they don't have to do the skulls or whatever, but I mean, essentially that's just saying you have to go into an elimination.
Yeah, I'd like it on paper, but I don't feel like it's ever really translated to be good television these last two seasons.
I think they could have, I agree with you. I mean, I think they could have used that idea that you have to win an elimination, presented it in a slightly different way, done something different with it. And I agree. I think it would be better presented. Like it would.
I mean, we said it at the beginning of the season that, or at least I did, that I like the skull challenge, or the skulls kind of, because it does force people down there, but there's still room to improve on it. I think it's
the idea of having
better than last year.
Place in the final.
You said
Like
what?
not getting by.
Right in here.
For me, it's not ganging up on the rookies at the very beginning of the season. That's the big part of it for me.
It forces that big veteran alliance to say we're gonna have to do the work ourselves. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll go in against a rookie, you know, but you got to go in. So I think it forces them to kind of do their own dirty work, which I like. Because like if you're gonna send somebody else in there, you know, that's why I like games where like you send somebody, they get to pick who they want to play against. Because like, yeah, okay, let's do it. You want to send me? I know who your closest ally is, you know, kind of stuff. So like, there's a lot of ways they can go with it, but I definitely think they need to continue to make the vets have to play.
Well, any final thoughts on the episode? I did look up the ratings, and the ratings have also declined these last 3 episodes after being pretty close to 1 million for most of the season. But
Yeah.
I didn't like the last
Agree.
3-4 minutes where it was just handcuffing people and them asking TJ, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening?
It looks scary though. I would be scared. They're
I
setting
think this
us
could be a
up.
good challenge. This looks like a fun one. And, you know, I'm going to pick CT and Cam to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be drinking some pretty nasty stuff. And if anybody's going to pull that off, it's going to be CT and Cam.
I am going to say Corey and Gabby win.
Hmm.
The house votes in Nani, and Gabby goes down to get her skull.
I can see that. Well, I kind
And
of
then
already saw
she
Podcast
doesn't
again,
get it.
but
And then she goes home. Or maybe she beats Nani and takes her place in future challenges.
that would be better.
This is gonna be a good final if it's singles. If it's it'll be a good final on the guys' side if it's singles. Like if they break the teams up and it's guys against guys and girls against girls or whatever, and they split the prizes. But if the teams stay like they are, there's 2 runaways, and I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a
Do you
blowout.
think that they would play in teams and do another like take the money and run kind of thing?
I don't think anybody left on this cast would take the money.
Devin would have.
Well, he's gone, so he doesn't matter.
I know, but he would have.
Yeah, that kind of stuff follows you in a game where you go back season after season, making a career out of it.
Yeah, it took
like that.
It took Johnny seasons to get back to a final.
And Homegirl never came back, right?
No,
Sarah,
Sarah. Yeah, she never came back because of that.
he did her so dirty. But I support.
We haven't seen Hunter back either.
Yeah, well, he deserved it though.
He did deserve it though.
Well, I guess that does it for this week on the Challenge Podcast. I don't know how many episodes are left, but with people dropping like flies, I hope it's not much, to be honest.
I think 4.
I mean, yeah,
I think so too.
to make 8, 16.
I'm seeing the Beautiful Mind stuff. That's that little montage from the movie just days.
Except it's just +1, +1, +1.
It's like binary, yeah.
I hate all of you. All of you.
Just kidding, Days. Well, thank everybody for joining me, and I will see everybody next week.